Welcome to all of cadets. How are you? It's a very critical moment to you all where the COVID 19 has dispersed everywhere in our country and also all over the world. So be safe and sound and stay your home. Don't go anywhere from your home. However, excellent you are. I am Muhammad Ashikur Rahman, lecturer in chemistry at Borishal Cadet College. Today I am going to start my last lesson on chapter 6 to your science class. The name of this chapter is Structure of Matter, and the topic which you will be taught today is atom, molecule and molecular formula. By the end of this lesson, cadets, you will be able to firstly differentiate between atom and molecule. Secondly, differentiate between element and compound. Thirdly, identify the selected elements and compounds by using symbol and formula. And finally, you will be able to demonstrate the use of water as a universal solvent. First of all, consider the topic atom. An atom is the smallest particle of an element that may or may not exist independently and retains all its chemical properties. As for example, sodium, potassium and calcium are some of the example of atom. Here some of the symbols of atoms are included. For Ace, it is hydrogen, and for Ace is helium, where Ace will be the capital letter and the second one is the smaller letter. Similarly, lithium, beryllium, boron and another atoms can be expressed by the same way. Now move on to the valency, charge and nature. The combining capacity of an atom is called valency. Like lithium, sodium, potassium, hydrogen, which can be read as simply Lina K hydrogen, having the valency of 1 and the charge is plus 1 and its nature is metal. Similarly, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine have the valency of 1 and its charge is minus 1 and its are non-metal. And beryllium, magnesium, calcium and zinc have the valency of 2. Similarly, you follow that all metal have the positive charge and all non-metal have the negative charge. So simply only you can memorize that the valency of the different atoms. It is not necessary to memorize the charge of that following elements or atom. These are the another symbols of some atoms which are included here. Just memorize it, for which is used for writing the molecular formula. Here you will learn the symbols of some radicals. First of all, you have to learn the definition of radical. The combination of two or more atoms when it is acts as a single element, it is called radical. As for example, carbonate radical, which is expressed as CO3 2 minus, where CO3 acts as a single element and has two valency and minus charge. Similarly, in the same way, the other radicals can be expressed. Now, move on to the concept of molecule. First of all, the definition of molecule. A molecule is the smallest particle of an element or compound which exists independently and shows all the properties of that substance. A molecule is a group of two or more elements that are held together by attractive forces. Atoms of the same element or different elements can join together to form molecules, as for example, water molecule, oxygen molecule, and etc. Now, we will consider the molecule of elements. For writing the symbol of elements of which combines together to form molecule are here. For oxygen molecule, it can be expressed as O2 as subscript. Here we see that oxygen is a non-metal and the oxygen molecule consists of two oxygen atom of the same element, so oxygen molecule is diatomic. Here diatomic means two atoms contains here. In the same way, the non-metals hydrogen, nitrogen and chlorine can be expressed as hydrogen H2 as subscript, N2 as subscript, Cl2 as subscript here respectively. And in case of metal like sodium, iron, aluminum and copper can be expressed as only in its single state Na, Fe, Al and Cu. And here you see that these elements of molecules consist of only one atom of element. That's why we can say that most of the metallic molecule are monoatomic. In simply, we can say that most of the non-metallic element forms diatomic molecule and most of the metallic element forms a monoatomic molecule. Now, you will learn how to write a molecular formula of some compounds. For this, you need to think like I thought in order to write the molecular formula of some compounds. First of all, you have to write the metallic element first at the left side, like magnesium, and secondly write the non-metallic element like chlorine at the right side. Then how can the magnesium and chlorine forms compound? For this you have to know first the valency of that elements. The valency of magnesium is 2 and that of chlorine is 1. Now exchange the valency of that element with each other, like the valency of magnesium is to write after the chlorine atom like in this way, and the valency of chlorine is to write after the magnesium element in this way. Now these two parts can combine together to form the following MgCl2, which is the desired formula of that compound, which consists of magnesium and chlorine, and the name of this formula or compound is magnesium chloride. Now consider the next example. Here aluminum is written at the left side and chlorine at the right side. Then we have to know the valency of aluminum and chlorine, which are aluminum has the 3 valency and the valency of chlorine is 1. Now exchange the valency between the two elements in this way. Here chlorine Cl3 as subscript and aluminum 1 as subscript. Now these two parts can combine together to form the following AlCl3 as subscript. This is the desired form of the formula, and the name of this compound is aluminum chloride. Consider the next example, where chlorine is written at the left side. Here carbon is written at the left side and oxygen at the right side, and the valency of carbon is 4 and the valency of oxygen is 2. Now by exchanging these valencies we will get O4 as subscript and C2 as subscript. Now C2 and O4 can combine together to form the following C4 and C2 and O4. But boys, you have to follow that when the both subscript are the even number, then you have to try the ratio of the both subscript, like the ratio of 2 and 4 is 1:2, This ratio is used to the following compounds like C1 and O2, but one should be neglect here to write the correct form of the compounds. So we can get in this here CO2, which is the final form of this compound, and the name of this compound is carbon dioxide. Now consider the next example where sodium at the right side at the left side and hydroxide at the right side, and the valency of these two parts is 1 and also 1. That means sodium has the valency of 1 and hydroxide has the valency of 1, and by exchanging of these two valencies we will get hydroxide 1 as subscript and sodium 1 as subscript, and the combination of these two parts from Na1 and O is 1, but 1 should be neglected in this case, so this should not be used here. So we can get NaOH, but when there is no subscript, then the first bracket should be neglected here. So we can get the final form of this compound NaOH, which is the desired formula of this compound, which contains sodium and hydroxide ions, and the name of this compound is sodium hydroxide. Now consider the next example where aluminum is written at the left side and nitrate at the right side. The valency of aluminum is 3 and then that of nitrate is 1. By exchanging these two valencies we can get nitrate 3 as subscript and aluminum 1 as subscript, and when these two parts can combine together to forms the following AlNO3 as subscript 3, which is the desired form of the following compounds, which contains aluminum and nitrate ion, and the name of this compound is aluminum nitrate. Now move on to the next example where ammonium at the left side and phosphate at the right side. The valency of ammonium is 1 and the phosphate then that of phosphate is 3. So we can get, by exchanging these two valencies, we will get phosphate as subscript 1 and ammonium 3 as subscript. When these two parts can combine together to form the following ammonium 3, that means NH4 as subscript 3 and PO4. This is the desired form of the following compounds, and the name of this compound is ammonium phosphate. Now consider the next example where aluminum is written at the left side and phosphate at the right side. The valency of aluminum is 3 and then that of phosphate is 3. So By exchanging these two valencies, we will get phosphate 3s subscript and aluminium 3s subscript. When these two parts can combine together to form the following: Al3 as subscript and PO4 as subscript 3. Here we see that the both subscript are the same. In this case, we can neglect it in simply, so we can get AlPO4, and also here you should neglect the parenthesis, that means first bracket, so we can get the final formula AlPO4, which is the desired formula of that compound, which consists of aluminium and phosphate ion, and the name of this compound is aluminium phosphate. Okay boys, now we will move on to the final topics, universal solvent. For universal solvent, in this here I would like to use the water. Do you know water is universal solvent or not? The universal solvent is a compound which dissolve many other compounds, like such as inorganic or organic compounds or many other compounds. For your better understanding, I would like to share a video clips by which you will understand these topics clearly. So boys, let's get started.
Water has also a property to dissolve many substances in it. For this reason, we call water a universal solvent. Let us perform an activity to understand it. Take two glasses, mark them as A and B. Fill each of them to about half with water. Add a spoonful of common salt in glass A. Add a spoonful of sand in glass B. Stir water in both the glasses. What do you observe? Sand settles down at the bottom of glass B. Salt gets dissolved in glass A. This shows that some solid substances dissolve in water while some do not dissolve. Solids like sugar, alum, baking soda, washing soda, and ink tablets are soluble in water. Solids like chalk powder, coal tar, wood powder, iron pieces, and glass pieces do not dissolve in water.
Okay boys, at this end of this lesson, now you have to solve some home tasks for you. First of all, the home task on molecule of elements. In this case, some of the question here you have to solve, and next the home task on molecule of compounds. Here also you have to solve some of the questions which are included here. Okay boys, now I would like to conclude here. Best of luck, be safe and sound, and stay your home. Don't go anywhere from your home. Thank you, and thank you all.